Hi! So, sorry I look a little disheveled, I just walked back from class, but I wanted to get this video up because I wanted to share my opinions on my stay at the Generator. So, the Generator Hostel London, I stayed for about 3 weeks, I think it was like 19 nights, over the Christmas and New Year's holiday this past Christmas 2016 and then into the New Year 2017. It was my first hostel that I ever stayed in. So some of the pros and cons that I have, I'm not necessarily sure what they would like compare to other hostels, but I still thought I would share in case anyone was interested because I know I heavily relied on reviews, any YouTube videos I could find with like tours or people showing their room or anything. So I wanted to share with you in case you are looking at Generator Hostel as one of your places to stay in London. So I have a couple pros and cons. I have them written in my Spanish notebook. But one of the first ones is as a female traveler, I was traveling alone. One of the pros was safety and I would say security at this hostel. I never once felt unsafe or felt that, uneasy in any part of the hostel or on my way to the hostel or anything. I felt very safe, and the hostel actually has security guards at night who are there and they'll either ask you for your room key or, like me, I was there so long you kind of recognize the faces. So never felt unsafe at any point in my stay there, which was very important for me being a female traveler solo. One of the second pros is the location and the price. So what I stayed in was a large shared co-ed for the first half of my stay and a large shared female for the second half of my stay. And according to their website, it was from about, I think it's from £20 for a large shared and from £21 for the female shared. I actually don't remember what I paid because I have been here for a couple months and just kind of lost my stuff, but I remember it was being around 300 something USD for my complete stay, and it was very, very doable, which, I mean, that was great. And location, it is within it says 10-minute walk, I believe, on their website to the British Museum. For me, it was about like 5 to 7, but of course that would depend on how fast you walk or if you're with a group and whatnot. And they are right by both the King's Cross and Russell Square stations for the tube or the underground. And that was really, really nice. It was literally like a minute or two to Russell Square. And that was very, very helpful, especially I didn't want to get lost, obviously. So that was really, really nice. It was really easy to navigate, and it was just right there. Another thing is cleanliness. So obviously people who haven't stayed in hostels have kind of stereotypes or preconceived ideas of what a hostel would be like. For me, I didn't really know a lot. I looked at the pictures online, and it looked really cool and everything. It looked very well designed and it kind of looked like it was geared towards people my age, which it was, but it was very, very clean for the parts that it didn't show. Like, it wasn't like it was only showing the best parts, but it was very clean. They had a cleaning staff come in and clean the rooms every day, obviously with the quick turnover with so many people. All the eating areas, the bar, the restaurant, the chill out room, all of the areas of the hostel that I experienced were clean and just really nice, and I had no problems there. Next is the staff. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite things about Generator was I did not meet a single rude person. Everyone was so nice. Everyone was great, whether I had questions or directing me in something. I mean, they didn't make me feel like a tourist, and they didn't make me feel stupid if I probably should know something that I didn't know. So any questions I had, they were helpful, they were nice. Maintenance staff, restaurant workers, bar workers, anyone who I interacted with was incredibly nice, and it made the stay just that much better. Last are kind of with the staff, or the desk. The desk was open 24 hours a day, which was super nice, especially since I was there over the holidays. I didn't really know if they would have less hours or less, visibility or whatnot, but they were still open 24 hours, and that was super awesome. Wow, that was lame. Food and drink. The food and drink was fine. It was really good. I did not go hungry there or thirsty. It was a little bit more expensive. Just, I think, being in the hostel, like, it wasn't crazy expensive, but it was a little bit more on the pricier side, only because I think it was the hostel and like they have to make some profit. But the good thing about Generator is you're right by the Brunswick Mall. I think I'm saying that right. So we would go there, you know, for food, or we would even go into the Waitrose that was there for like groceries or something if we needed it. Like, it was really cool. But the food there and everything, if you just want to eat there, it was really delicious, and they had a lot of variety. And obviously the staff working were really nice. And two other things, laundry and Wi-Fi. I don't know how other hostels are or if they have these everywhere, but free Wi-Fi. Laundry was available. It wasn't free, but it wasn't expensive. I think it was like £2 maybe for a wash and dry. I don't actually remember. But they had those available, and that was so nice. Laundry was not something I think I would need to do, but I needed to do it. I think I did like 3 loads of laundry in the 3 weeks I was there. So it was super nice to have, and I never had a really long wait. I mean, I think there was one day where it rained pretty bad, so everyone was like drying their stuff in the dryer, but I never had to wait really long for a washer or a dryer. And the last thing I have under pros are the events. Now, I read on the Generator website that having events is like the ethos of the whole Generator system. And you could tell it was amazing. Even though I was there over Christmas and New Year's, so you would kind of expect to have those type of events and have things put on, but they were just so cool. They were events that were like varied, like, so they had movies, they had a pop-up bar, they had like a ladies night. I wasn't actually there on New Year's night. I went out to the fireworks, but we came back and they were like sweeping up confetti. So I mean, clearly they had a lot going on, and that was nice, because if there was ever a day where I didn't want to necessarily go out and do something, or I had a friend join me for like part of my trip, like in the middle, if she didn't want to do something that I wanted to do, or we wanted to like meet back up, there was always something to do at the hostel. And I think that's it for pros. So my cons are, let's see, I think 3 of them are ones that I wasn't really sure about. So I'll start with those. The first one is they didn't change money. They had a travel desk, which was nice because they could direct you like anywhere that could change money or any other questions. But I had thought, I remembered reading that they could change money there. Not necessarily all money, but I thought USD. But they said they could not. So I'm not sure if they ever said that. It doesn't appear on the Generator website now. But that was one thing that just kind of popped up. Another one was computers. I thought they had said they had a computer room on their website prior to my trip. Not that I needed it, but while I was there, I never came across it. I also didn't really look for it since I didn't need it. But I never came across a computer room where you could go on the internet if you didn't have a device. So I'm not sure if that exists, and I just never kind of came across it, or if that kind of has become outdated with smartphones and everything. So they might have gotten rid of that. I don't really know. So the other 3 are ones that I personally just kind of felt were a little bit more on the con side. Obviously not a deal breaker. I loved my experience at hostel, and I would go back in a heartbeat. But the first one is outlets. Now, my first room was a large shared, and I think it was a 10 or 12 bed. And pretty much every night had a lot of people in there, also because holidays. But the outlets, if you wanted to charge your phone at night, like, sorry, you're out of luck. There was never enough outlets for the people in the room. And I only noticed that with my first large shared. My second one, which was an all-female room, did not have this problem. So I think it just kind of depends how many people in your room and how many devices they're charging and everything. But like I said, they had other amenities like the chill out room and I think they're like cinema room, which had outlets, which we would just go, me and my friend would go charge our phones there. And they also had a charging box thing in their lobby. And so, I mean, there's plenty of options. So you didn't have to necessarily use outlets in your room. The other one is quiet area. Generator Hostel was amazing and big, but because of that, pretty much everywhere you go, there was noise. There was like music over the loudspeakers, like it was just loud. I didn't really have a problem with this, but I know my friend, I think she had said this, I don't remember, kind of had a problem with that because pretty much if you wanted to go somewhere quiet, you weren't really guaranteed a quiet area because if there's someone in your room, there's someone in your room. So I mean, there's that, but sorry, my neighbor's walking by. There is that, but you know, it's not a deal breaker. Let's let's see, last but not least was the luggage store. So the luggage store I was a little disappointed in, I think just because of me and being paranoid and wanting to make sure my stuff is absolutely safe. There was an area to put your luggage and they had lockers, but none of the lockers were big enough that they could actually fit the full suitcase. So I saw some people emptying out the contents of their suitcase, and then, you know, your suitcase was just in the room, and there was a lot of suitcases in there. Like, it wasn't like there was only one suitcase in there and then you'd be more on edge about leaving it there. There was tons of suitcases. But you couldn't actually put your suitcase in a locker. So if you're kind of more iffy about that or want better security for your belongings, or if you have just a lot of stuff, that might be something to think about. But like I said, it wasn't a deal breaker. There was tons of luggage everywhere. Depending on how long this video is, I'm going to try to include some stuff at the end, some videos I took, like a tour, virtual tour type of thing. If not, I did take videos of my trip that I have on my other channel. So I just kind of have to sift through those though, because they're not specific. Or I'll make another video. We'll see. But yeah, actually, I skipped one last thing. So if you're female, the female dorm on their website says comes with hair dryers. There were no hair dryers in our room. I don't know if that's just our room or what. I got to see 3 different rooms between the 2 I stayed in and the one my friend stayed in, but none of them had hair dryers. But luckily the bathrooms, like the main girls' bathrooms, because I was on the like basement level, had 2 hair dryers. And those, I mean, obviously they're going to be pretty popular during main shower times, but I never had to like wait really long for one. Slash I would shower at night so my hair could just dry. But yeah, not a deal breaker. Anyway, my overall experience at the Generator Hostel in London was amazing. I had a great time. I would recommend that hostel to anybody my age, or if you are younger or older. There was a lot of families who stayed there, mostly in the private rooms. There was a lot of people older than me. There was people younger than me. It was a very diverse group who stayed there. And I had no problems. I had no issues. Even stuff that were just kind of cons weren't, like I said, deal breakers. I would go back in a heartbeat. I don't have any other hostel experiences to compare this to. So for me, I'd rate it like a 9 out of 10 just because I don't have anything to compare it to. Otherwise, I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10 because I had a great time and I'd go back. So yeah, if you have any questions or are considering staying at Generator Hostel, I'd love to share more of my experience, or I might make another video. I don't really know. But I wanted to make this in case anyone else is considering going, because I know I found any reviews and any experiences really, really helpful. So with that being said, I think that's it. Have a good day.